The world of celebrity alliances and high society connections has always been governed by an unwritten code of optics where a single gesture, a missed glance, or a subtly delayed response can ignite a firestorm of global speculation. For years, the public has been captivated by the seemingly unbreakable bond between the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, and the undisputed queen of the tennis world, Serena Williams. It was a friendship forged in the bright lights of American entertainment and elevated to the grand stages of British royalty and international sport, presented to the world as a masterclass in mutual empowerment and sisterly solidarity. From casual blog posts to front-row seats at major tournaments, their connection appeared to be an unshakable fixture of modern pop culture, a rare example of genuine affection in a world often dominated by transactional relationships and manufactured public relations campaigns. Yet beneath this flawless veneer of public adoration, seasoned observers and eagle-eyed analysts have long suspected that the reality behind closed doors might be far more complex, layered with the immense pressures of global fame, shifting social hierarchies, and the delicate management of personal brands. As rumors begin to swirl regarding upcoming public appearances and highly anticipated summer events, the spotlight has once again intensified on this iconic duo, prompting many to wonder whether this celebrated alliance is truly built on a foundation of deep, enduring trust, or if it has slowly evolved into a carefully orchestrated series of carefully timed appearances designed for the cameras. To truly understand the current state of this fascinating relationship, one must look closely at the subtle shifts that have occurred over the last several months, which have left fans and royal commentators alike questioning the true nature of their bond. If you find these deep investigations into the hidden dynamics of the world's most high-profile figures intriguing, please take a brief moment to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the secrets behind the headlines. The intrigue surrounding the Duchess and the tennis champion has reached a fever pitch, fueled by a series of quiet observations that suggest a distinct cooling of what was once described as an incredibly powerful sisterhood. For a long time, the narrative surrounding Meghan and Serena was one of absolute, unwavering loyalty, a bond that survived the intense scrutiny of the international media and the seismic shifts in Meghan's personal life as she transitioned from a Hollywood actress to a prominent member of the British royal family. They were each other's biggest cheerleaders, frequently exchanging public declarations of love and respect that solidified their status as an untouchable power couple in the eyes of the public. However, the modern landscape of celebrity tracking relies heavily on the micro deals of social media interactions and public engagements, and it is precisely within these small digital and physical spaces that the first real cracks in the narrative have begun to show themselves. Observers have noted that the effortless warmth that once characterized their public interactions has seemingly been replaced by a more structured, almost formal distance, leading to intense debate among fans who wonder if an underlying tension has quietly taken root. This growing skepticism did not emerge out of thin air. Rather, it has been built up through a succession of carefully analyzed moments that suggest the two women may no longer be as aligned as they once were, raising the tantalizing possibility that the glamorous alliance is experiencing its most challenging chapter yet. The speculation intensified significantly during recent public product promotions and high-profile social gatherings, where the tone of support felt noticeably different from the passionate defenses of years past, causing many to look back at historical footage with a newly critical eye. It is a well-known phenomenon that in the stratosphere of extreme wealth and global influence, friendships are rarely simple, often intersecting with business ventures, public relations strategies, and the constant, exhausting need to control the narrative before the media does. When these elements begin to clash, or when the mutual benefits of an alliance begin to lean too heavily in one direction, the resulting friction can manifest in the most subtle of ways, visible only to those who know exactly where to look. As the summer season approaches and major international events draw near, the pressure on both women to maintain the appearance of absolute solidarity is higher than ever. Yet the silence and the ambiguous gestures radiating from their respective camps have only served to deepen the mystery. Every detail is now being weighed and measured by a global audience that is eager to discover whether this legendary friendship is still a source of genuine comfort for the Duchess and the athlete, or if it has quietly transformed into a polite, distant memory preserved only for the sake of public convenience. As we prepare to dive deeper into the specific events, body language breakdowns, and hidden historical clues that define this captivating royal and Hollywood mystery, the true nature of what lies between Meghan Markle and Serena Williams remains one of the most intriguing questions of the year, setting the stage for a dramatic revelation of facts that will challenge everything the public thought it knew about this extraordinary bond. The escalating uncertainty surrounding the true nature of the bond between Meghan Markle and Serena Williams found its most tangible flashpoint in the scrutinized world of public product endorsements and high society networking events, where the subtle nuances of execution can speak louder than any formal press release. The initial waves of skepticism began to solidify in the spring of this year, when the Duchess of Sussex embarked on a curated public relations campaign to promote her new luxury lifestyle brand, As Ever. As part of this highly anticipated rollout, a series of hand-assembled promotional packages containing artisanal items and specialized edits were dispatched to an exclusive inner circle of Hollywood elites and prominent influencers, with Serena Williams naturally positioned at the very top of the recipient list. In the past, any public nod from the tennis legend toward her close friend would have been characterized by an outpouring of glowing, unreserved praise. Yet the digital artifact that actually materialized on social media left fans and brand analysts completely stunned. When Serena finally shared a video showcasing the contents of the gift box, the presentation felt remarkably casual, lacking the polished, high-production enthusiasm typically associated with high-profile celebrity brand launches. Rather than a carefully staged and pristine endorsement, the footage revealed a collection of luxury treats that looked distinctly disrupted, as if the box had been casually handled before the camera started rolling, prompting an immediate wave of commentary from digital observers who questioned why a supposedly close friend would allow a premium product to look less than perfect on a global platform. The commentary within the video itself did little to dampen the growing suspicion, as Serena pointed out the crushed nature of the delicacies, while offering a review that felt strangely detached, noting that although she historically dislikes chocolate, she found these particular items to be delicious. Furthermore, when analyzing the custom candles included in the Mother's Day edit, specifically the highly discussed number 506 candle featuring notes of ginger, cashmere, and neroli, the tennis champion openly admitted to the camera that she could not even pronounce the name of the final ingredient, repeating the same self-deprecating admission when attempting to read the label of a second candle scented with santal. While she concluded the demonstration by praising Meghan's impeccable penmanship and expressing her love, the overall delivery struck a discordant note with a public accustomed to flawless, heavily manicured corporate promotions, leading many to wonder if the casual, almost chaotic energy of the post was a deliberate choice. This incident immediately triggered a massive divide among followers, with critics arguing that the presentation represented a poorly executed, low-effort promotional attempt that ultimately made the Duchess's new commercial venture look unpolished, while others fiercely defended the athlete, suggesting that the raw, unfiltered nature of the post was simply a reflection of an authentic, long-term friendship where formal pretense is entirely unnecessary. This digital friction was compounded just weeks later when eagle-eyed observers noted another highly suggestive development in New York City during a star-studded pre-Met Gala celebration hosted by Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. Serena Williams attended the exclusive gathering and was photographed alongside Emma Thin, the Marchioness of Bath, a prominent British aristocrat and lifestyle figure who has long been at the center of intense internet comparisons regarding her own state-made artisanal products and high-society television programming. To a segment of the public that meticulously tracks the underlying currents of celebrity alliances, Serena's public association with a figure frequently cited as a creative rival to Meghan's lifestyle aesthetic felt like a calculated maneuver, an understated social statement that further fueled the narrative of an active, deliberate distancing between the two former confidantes. To understand whether these modern incidents are truly the result of a recent fallout or merely the continuation of a long-standing pattern, body language experts have urged the public to cast their minds back to a crucial moment in 2019. During the high-stakes atmosphere of the U.S. Open Women's Singles Final, it was an afternoon of immense professional pressure for Serena Williams, who was fighting on the court against Bianca Andreescu in a match she would ultimately lose in straight sets. But a parallel drama of non-verbal communication was quietly unfolding high above the court in the exclusive players' box. Sitting directly within this inner sanctum to offer her public support was Meghan Markle, who had traveled thousands of miles across the Atlantic Ocean just a few months after giving birth to her first child, Prince Archie, eager to demonstrate her unwavering commitment to her friend before a global audience. However, a viral video clip capturing the interactions within the box revealed a stark and fascinating contrast between the behavior of the Duchess and that of Serena's mother, Oracene Price, exposing what analysts describe as a profound divergence in emotional processing and public awareness. As the cameras panned to the VIP section during a critical break in the tennis action, drawing an immediate and thunderous roar from the massive stadium crowd, the shift in energy became instantly palpable. According to seasoned behavioral analysts, the moment the Duchess of Sussex realized the massive stadium screens and television cameras were focused on her position, she immediately transitioned into what was described as a high-performance theatrical mode. Her eyes became intensely focused, actively tracking the camera locations and responding to her own broadcasted image with a series of highly synchronized, dramatic movements that appeared deeply rooted in her professional training as a television actress. While the natural and authentic response to the extreme sporting tension on the court was mirrored in the silent, unmoving stillness and laser-focused stare of Oracene Price, Meghan began to mime an elaborate display of anxiety, support, and profound affection for the cameras, utilizing her hands and facial expressions to broadcast a global message of emotional investment. In a poignant sequence of events, the Duchess made a direct and animated attempt to engage in conversation with Serena's mother, leaning forward with an expressive countenance to bridge the physical space between them. Yet, Oracene remained entirely locked within her own zone of intense concentration, seemingly oblivious to the external noise and completely non-responsive to the Duchess's conversational overtures, creating an incredibly awkward and visible disconnect in full view of the surrounding spectators. Realizing the immediate optics of the situation and the fact that the cameras were capturing this unreciprocated interaction, Meghan appeared to experience a brief flash of inner anxiety, which manifested in a rapid and sharp blinking pattern as she checked the overhead screens. To mask the potential embarrassment of the failed interaction, she swiftly executed a series of self-soothing and highly illustrative behavioral rituals, splaying her fingers out wide, rubbing her palms together in a kinetic display of nervous energy, and finally flexing her hands into tight, defensive balls. She then transitioned into a globally recognizable praying gesture, lifting her hands to her face to signal her intense spiritual support for the athlete on the court, while hiding a guarded, secret smile behind her fingers in a desperate bid to maintain an aura of warmth, poise, and control amid an undeniably tense interpersonal environment. Despite the palpable undercurrents of tension captured in that viral moment at the U.S. Open, the official narrative surrounding Meghan Markle and Serena Williams continued to project an image of a resilient, deeply rooted friendship that thrived in the face of intense global scrutiny. In the years that followed that dramatic afternoon in New York, both women repeatedly used their massive media platforms to reinforce their bond, presenting their relationship as a profound sanctuary away from the exhausting pressures of their respective public lives. A major milestone in this public validation occurred during the premiere episode of the Duchess of Sussex's highly anticipated Spotify podcast, Archetypes, where Serena appeared as the inaugural guest to engage in an intimate conversation about ambition, gender double standards, and the unique burdens of fame. During the episode, the tennis champion spoke candidly about her relationship with Meghan, describing herself as someone who is super loyal to a fault and emphasizing that their connection was built on a long history of shared experiences and mutual understanding. Serena was equally vocal during Meghan's most challenging public moments, famously using her global influence to praise the Duchess's class, poise, and immense strength immediately following the seismic interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2121. This public defense was not an isolated incident, rather. It was part of a consistent pattern of mutual support that had been carefully documented over more than a decade of public life. The origins of this high-profile alliance trace back to 2010, when the two women met briefly at a charity event, followed by a pivotal meeting in 2014 at a celebrity flag football game, an encounter that Meghan later immortalized on her lifestyle blog, The Tig. Writing with characteristic enthusiasm, the future Duchess explained that they hit it off immediately, bypassing the predictable small talk of Hollywood and sports to laugh, take photos, and discuss basic, down-to-earth personal topics. A genuine connection that laid the foundation for a lasting sisterhood. As Meghan's personal life underwent a massive transformation following her relationship and subsequent marriage to Prince Harry in May of 2018, the dynamics of her friendship with Serena evolved to meet the demands of her new royal reality. According to authorized biographical accounts, the Duchess leaned heavily on Serena for crucial mentoring and practical advice on how to navigate the relentless pursuit of the international paparazzi and the intense glare of global media speculation. Serena, who had spent her entire adult life in the intense spotlight of professional athletics, reportedly advised Meghan to stop being so nice to the press, encouraging her to establish firm boundaries to protect her personal well-being. Their bond deepened further through a shared journey into motherhood, when Meghan discovered she was pregnant with her first child, Prince Archie. Shortly after, Serena had given birth to her daughter, Olympia. The two women frequently exchanged late-night texts and phone calls, relying on each other for parenting advice and emotional support. Serena later expressed how deeply moving it was to witness the historic cultural shift of the royal wedding, noting her immense pride at seeing African-American culture incorporated into the ceremony at Windsor Castle, describing it as an incredibly inspiring and motivating moment for people around the world. This rich history of mutual reliance is precisely why the recent signs of a potential rift have generated such intense fascination and debate among royal observers and pop culture analysts alike. The contrast between the passionate defenses of the past and the strangely detached, low-effort social media interactions of the present has created a compelling mystery that extends far beyond the borders of Hollywood and London. To fully comprehend why this matters, one must look at the broader context of the current moment. As the Duke and Duchess of Sussex navigate a complex chapter of their public lives, balanced between their ongoing professional ventures in the United States and their complicated relationship with the British establishment. With Serena Williams and her sister Venus set to return to the historic grass courts of Wimbledon later this summer, the tennis world is bracing for a monumental event, and the anticipation surrounding the guest list in the exclusive royal box has reached an absolute fever pitch. This sporting milestone coincides perfectly with widely circulated reports that Prince Harry is planning a rare family visit to the United Kingdom, raising the tantalizing possibility that Meghan Markle could make a dramatic public appearance in London to cheer on her longtime friend from the stands. If such an appearance materializes, it would serve as the ultimate visual refutation of the rumors that have plagued their relationship, providing a powerful, high-contrast demonstration of solidarity before the global press. Conversely, a continued absence or a cold silence from either side during these major summer events would only serve to validate the theories of behavioral experts and critics who believe that the legendary alliance has quietly reached its expiration date. Ultimately, the story of Meghan and Serena is a fascinating case study in the architecture of modern celebrity. illustrating how public figures construct, maintain, and sometimes outgrow the alliances that define their public personas. Whether their current distance is a temporary pause caused by the chaotic demands of their respective business empires or the permanent fading of a once great friendship,